What's going on, YouTube fam? Today we are going to discuss this EFlex X Plus flex fuel. Basically, this is a flex fuel conversion kit for this particular kit, supposedly for this 2018 5.7 liter Dodge Charger. The reason why I'm making this video, I've never installed their kit before. I've done Proflex, aka Advanced Fuel Dynamics kits on plenty of Mopars, and I really like their kits. And so today I wanted to show you guys some of the major differences, see if we can't get this hooked up and working properly, and then we'll at the end kind of read it, go back over things and discuss which one I think is better or not, or why. So let's dive into it and see what the contents are on this kit. So guys, real quick, a few things I want to go over that are wildly different between this kit and a Proflex kit or Advanced Fuel Dynamics kit. For one, your Advanced Fuel Dynamics kit are going to come with prefabricated hoses. So all your connection hoses for your flex fuel ethanol content sensor will be pre-made already, and nice ones. Hold on, I think I got one. And by nice ones, I mean ones like this. Pre-made, ready to be attached. So, aside from that, the other thing I do not like is it seems like these are packaged as a universal style deal, and then things are thrown in and added to the box based off the vehicle. Now, from a business standpoint, I can see where that would be beneficial, but say for example we're tapping into the Mopar community here. If this product's great, you're gonna sell a ton of them. You can just pre-box them for the vehicle, and this will, if you pre-boxed it for Dodges, I mean Charger, Challenger, Hellcat, Demons, Jeeps, they're all the same. The harnesses are all the same, the connectors are all the same. I don't really see why you couldn't just make it for the three major auto manufacturers. Excuse me, I can't talk. Now, I did see this product was manufactured in Finland, so maybe it's a European thing and that's why, and they're tapping into the American market. But either way, I feel like at the price point, it could be done a lot nicer. So we've got EV6 connectors here that we actually have to pin on. So that's a big added step, and for someone that's not comfortable, that could present a problem. You have to whip out the old multimeter and make sure you have your connections correct. So that's something else that's a major difference, whereas the Proflex is 100% plug and play. So now that I've kind of gone over some of the main differences, there's also an OBD2 plug that gets plugged in as well on this. But now that I've gone over some of the main differences, I'm going to go ahead and dive in real quick. I'm going to go ahead and modify our fuel line and get our ethanol content sensor, which is right here. It's a Continental sensor. So, got it. I'm going to go ahead and get this Johnny installed over there real quick, and I'll show you what I did, and then we'll move forward with the next step. Okay guys, so we've got our connections made, our flex fuel sensor is in. I've routed it this way so we can kind of boom, maybe put a tie right there, just kind of keep it up clean. We've got air gap everywhere, kind of try to keep the heat off the sensor for long term, or for longevity of the sensor. Now let's dive in to the routing portion and see what we come up with. Okay guys, as you can see, we are starting to get somewhere. Nice, clean, tidy install. We're going to go ahead and wash, rinse, repeat on the other side of the motor. And then we'll bring the harness around and get it connected to the control box over here. We have a temperature sensor we have to place somewhere, which I will say, before you guys get in the comment sections and say, dang, you just bashing this kit, it does have a temperature probe. So that's pretty cool. The temperature probe is basically for if it has to increase the volume of fuel based off of temperature outside. So, you know, everybody knows ethanol takes 30% by volume to have the same stoichiometric value as pump gas. But it also takes more of it, because it is a colder fuel by nature, to fire an engine up when the temperature is cool, like 40s, 30s, when it's cold outside. So that's pretty cool. It is chillier today. I think it's like 49 right now, but we don't have any E85 for this thing. It's on pump gas. So I may have the customer bring this car back to get a honest opinion. He may not want to be on camera, but we'll discuss it on how the system worked. I will connect to the app, because pump gas does have ethanol content. We should get a reading. So let's get back to installing this thing. Alright, now we have this side all taken care of, so I'm going to go ahead and route the wiring on the back side of the motor over to the control box, and then we're going to find a spot for that temp sensor, hook up our ground somewhere on this side, find a place to hide all these wires as best we can, or bundle them up as cleanly as possible, and then we'll be pretty much done. We'll go with our final assembly. Now, as you can see, I've got everything tidied up over here except for the temp sensor, and I've got everything connected into our main box now. I know this kind of looks like a mess here, but a little bit of zip tie magic. I'll show you guys how we tidy that up. We've got our ground grounded. So before I move any further, I'm going to cycle the key, get fuel pressure back in the system, and then I'm going to start the vehicle. I want to make sure that before I tidy this up and put everything away, that everything functions and works. So let's go ahead and do that now. It's dark in here. Recycle the key, get our fuel pressure back. We did that twice, so we should be good on that. And let's go ahead and start it for my leg cramps. She fired up. Go ahead and shut it off. I don't want the car to get hot. So let me go ahead and finish tidying this thing up, get our temp sensor mounted, and then we'll take it for a spin. So as you guys can see, that nasty bundle of wires has been all cleaned up and zip tied to the strut bar, and I've decided to put the unit right here above the ECU. If Dodge thinks the ECU is safe there, this ECU is safe there. So let's go ahead and finish placing our temp sensor, and then this one will be all wrapped up. You guys don't think I left it out. I ran the temp sensor down and around and right over here towards the front of the motor, zip tied to the wiring harness off of anything metal, rotating and directly contacting with anything. So that's a wrap, guys. What do you think? Clean install. Very happy with how everything turned out. So let's download the app, check the content. So guys, as you hear, I've got the car running, and here's the app. So right now it's showing 10% ethanol content, it's on the engine RPM, duty cycle, temperature in the engine bay, and if we were moving, mile an hour. Showing the activity that all 8 cylinders are working. You can log, set up drive modes, startup modes. Pretty interesting on this end of the spectrum. I believe the app is a little bit more intuitive than the ProFlex app, in the aspect there's more things to do. Now, just because there's more things to do doesn't actually mean they do anything. In the automotive industry, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to things. I'm not going to dive into that today, but let's click this startup info. So the enrichment was 14 seconds, engine startup temperature was 88 degrees, ethanol content was 10%. So that's cool that it saves that data. And then we can go back to our gauge. That's going to do it for the install of the EFlex fuel technology flex fuel system that can be apparently adapted to a bunch of different systems, actually, because it can go all the way from a 4-cylinder to a V8 and everywhere in between. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, pros and cons. I feel like as far as if I were doing this on a Dodge vehicle, I would probably go with the ProFlex Commander or the Advanced Fuel Dynamics system over this one, just being that it's more plug and play and user friendly. As far as I feel like the average Joe do-it-yourselfer guy in the garage could whip that out and get it installed very quickly, versus this system would take someone substantially longer to install, and it may scare them away that they're having to make the connections and push the pins into the connectors and stuff, and if they get it backwards. There is a lot of room in this kit for human error, and especially someone who's inexperienced. But other than that, once it's installed, looks great. And like I said, as far as the apps themselves are concerned, the Bluetooth connection when I first connected with the app was extremely quick. As soon as the car fired up, it immediately connected. The Advanced Fuel Dynamics, the same. And then I would say the only other difference is I feel like there's a lot more that can be done with this app. The Advanced Fuel Dynamic one is basically just some information, and that's it. This one you have some settings and you can change things and so forth within the app, which could be a good or a bad thing. You guys let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments section below. But I appreciate you guys coming with me on this install. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.